Hi again, Grange Park. So this is the second part of the book Diary of a Wimpy Kid. You'll notice this book isn't written in chapters, it's separated by different days. So each day you'll just hear an extra 10 minutes worth of the story, okay? So it won't be separated by chapters. So last year, Rowley's mum bought him sneakers with laces, and I can't even tell you how many times I had to bail him out. I guess this probably should have been a warning sign that my best friend was impressed that I knew how to tie my own shoes. Thursday. Today I was reading the comics in the newspaper and I saw an ad that caught my attention. It was for Peachy Breeze ice cream, and apparently they're looking for a new spokesperson. Peachy Breeze has those commercials on TV that run non-stop with that kid with freckles and the high-pitched voice. Peachy Breeze is peachy keen. The Peachy Breeze kid used to be kind of cute, but over the years he's got a little seedy looking. So I guess they're looking for someone to take his place. Well, I'd be perfect for the role. First of all, I love ice cream, so it wouldn't be hard for me to do the acting part. Second, I would be willing to miss a lot of school to fulfil my Peachy Breeze obligations. And they wouldn't have to worry about me getting too old for the part, because I'd take whatever I needed to take to stop growing. The only stumbling block I can see is that Dad hates Peachy Breeze TV ads because he thinks the kid is annoying. So I don't think he'd be too thrilled if I became the new spokesperson. There's just something about that kid that gets on Dad's nerves. In fact, I think he hates the Peachy Breeze kid even more than he hates little Cutie, which is saying something. Every time Dad sees Peachy Breeze commercial on TV, he writes the Peachy Breeze people an angry letter saying that the ads drive him crazy and he'll never buy any of their products. A few weeks later, Dad gets a response in the mail from Peachy Breeze, and it's always the same thing: coupons for free ice cream. It's been going on like this for years, and if something doesn't change, we're going to have to get an extra freezer to hold all of our Peachy Breeze ice cream. Saturday. I told Mum about the Peachy Breeze Kid contest last night, and she said it seemed like an exciting opportunity, but it turns out she was thinking of my little brother, Manny, when she said that. In fact, this morning Mum and Manny were ready to take off for the audition without me, but I caught them just in time. Wait up. Mum seemed surprised that I wanted to be the Peachy Breeze kid and said I might be too old for the part. At first I thought that was ridiculous, but when I saw my competition at the mall, I could kind of see where she was coming from. I figured I could charm the judges and get the job anyway. Plus, I had an edge because I was the only kid trying out who could read a cue card. There must have been 200 kids in the line, and I realised if I wanted the job, I was going to have to come up with some sort of gimmick. So I decided I'd jump up and click my heels together when I said the Peachy Breeze slogan. But when it was finally my turn to go, things didn't work out the way I'd planned. I knew my chances of getting the part weren't good when the casting people sent me out the door without even asking my name. My opportunity was slipping away, so I did what I could to improve my odds. I'm pretty sure the kid next in line is allergic to peaches. But it looks like the job is going to go to a younger kid after all, which really stinks. You know, this isn't the first time I've been discriminated against because of my age either. Last October, me and Rowley heard that our local news station was going to be the Red Apple Farm to shoot footage of kids carving pumpkins and making scarecrows and stuff like that. We knew this was our big chance to be on TV, so we plopped ourselves in front of the news camera and really hammed it up. But it took about 5 seconds for the news people to kick us out. Hey, get those creepy kids out of there. Then they brought in some little kids to take our place, and they did the same exact thing for me and Rowley were doing. And sure enough, those kids were on the news that night. The truth is, this kind of thing has been going on for a long time, And where it's worse is in my own family. Up until I was 8 or 9, it was the star of every family gathering. It seemed like nobody could get enough of me. But after Manny was born, things really changed for me. See, when you're a little kid, nobody ever warns you that you've got an expiration date. One day you're hot stuff, and the next day you're a dirt sandwich. I guess I can understand why Roderick's always so grumpy. It's been a long time since he was the centre of attention, and believe me, he's not getting any cuter. The person who's lucky is Rowley. He's an only child, so at least he doesn't have to worry about being replaced by the next kid to come along. Monday. Tonight at dinner, Dad told us that his younger brother, Uncle Gary, got engaged to his girlfriend, Sonia. I guess that's great news and all, but Uncle Gary has been married 3 times before, so this has kind of become a regular thing in our family. In fact, we don't even use growth charts at home because we can just look up the pictures from Uncle Gary's wedding to keep track of our progress. So I think everyone's a little burned out by now. When Uncle Gary got married the 3rd time, Mum didn't even bother to replace the picture of his second wedding on the mantel. She just taped a photo of the new wife's head on top of the old one. Uncle Gary is not a bad guy or anything. He just rushes into these relationships too quickly. He got engaged to his first wife Linda 2 months after they met. She didn't even find out what he did for a living until their wedding day. And I heard Uncle Gary's second wife, Charlene, thought he had a lot of money because of a miscommunication on their second date. It turns out Uncle Gary only had $45, not $45,000. But Charlene didn't find out that until it was time to pay the band at the wedding. Dad's always saying Uncle Gary needs to grow up and stop acting like a child. But if I were Dad, I wouldn't hold my breath. Tuesday. I found out that Uncle Gary's wedding is going to be in November, and the reception will be at my great-grandmother Gammy's house, like last time. Gammy is 95 years old, but she still lives in a big house where she grew up. She likes the official head of the whole Heffley family. Gammy is one of the only people in the world who still writes letters, and when she writes back you a letter, she expects you to write one back. I've tried to explain to Gammy that people my age don't know how to write letters with a stamp and return address and all that stuff, but she doesn't want to hear it. At Uncle Gary's last wedding, Gammy handed me a starter letter plus an envelope with her address and a stamp on it, so I wouldn't have any excuse not to write. I still haven't filled it in and mailed it yet, so now every time I walk past my desk in my bedroom, I feel guilty. Gammy is always making you feel guilty. Last year at Thanksgiving, I put a whoopee cushion on her chair and she sat on it. A few days later, everyone in the whole family got a handwritten apology letter from Gammy. Dear family, I am writing to apologise for the unfortunate incident that occurred shortly after our family concluded grace at our Thanksgiving celebration. As I have got older, I found it more difficult to control my body, and I'm afraid my recent surgery may have contributed to my little slip. I hope that this unfortunate mishap doesn't become the lasting impression of what was otherwise a glorious and blessed occasion. Sometimes I wonder if Gammy is just messing with everyone and does this kind of thing on purpose. Last Easter, she invited the whole family to her house, but everyone had their own thing going on and nobody went. Gammy called Dad on Easter Sunday and said she'd bought a scratch ticket and won the $10 million grand prize. Word got around the family quick and everyone was at Gammy's house in no time, flat. But it turned out the scratch ticket wasn't a winner after all. You had to match all 3 of the fruits to win, Gammy. Oh, I see. Gammy didn't seem too bothered that she wasn't a multi-millionaire after all, and I have a feeling she got what she really wanted anyway. I hope I live to be 95 years old, because if I do, I guarantee you I'll be messing with people too. What makes me kind of nervous about going to Gammy's house in November is that it's time for me to get the talk. Every time someone in my family gets to about my age, Gammy sits them down and talks to them about who knows what. I guess it's one of those elder wisdom kind of things. The last person to get the talk from the Grammy was Roderick, and now I'm next in line. I'm hoping Uncle Gary breaks off his engagement so we don't have to go down there, because the whole thing is making me a nervous wreck. I'm going to stop there for today, and we'll start with the Thursday next time. Hopefully you're enjoying me having to look at the lovely artwork that's in the story as well. I think it really helps to bring the story to life. See you soon.